Hi, this is Kristen here. Welcome to another process video, and today I'm working on a layout using Color Rush Studios July kit. And so I pick out this paper with kind of like a newspaper background and a couple of torn looking pieces with the pattern paper set in the background. And I decide I'm going to layer this up by using some of the frazzle that was included this month. And the pictures I'm going to be documenting today are of my son when we were at Mackinac Island this past fall for vacation. I probably will actually end up documenting quite a few Mackinac pictures with this kit, just because it does remind me a lot of kind of Mackinac Island. Had like a lot of Americana decorations, colors, things like that. And I'm going to go ahead and layer up some more frazzle down here and cut it to length. And I'm sorry, you can probably hear my kiddos in the background. And I'm going to go ahead and back the photographs in white cardstock. And I will go off screen here and get those cut down, and I'm going to back it with this plaid pattern paper that was also included in this month's kit. Go ahead and get this one mounted and cut out. And then I'm going to start pulling out some of the ephemera pieces that I think would work well on this layout. The kit came with quite a few of these little postage stamps. I think there were like maybe three or four of them in there. I really like this floral cluster, but I end up taking it off the page, and I will use it in another layout. So just kind of grabbing pieces that I thought would work well with kind of the scene and the setting. I could have probably honestly taken like a whole nother pack of like this ephemera. It was just so stinking cute. The florals were just so pretty in it. They had like a couple little bows in it that were just it was just so cute. I could have ordered another pack. I wish sometimes with some of these kit clubs, I wish you could order like, just one pack of the ephemera or flowers or whatever. So because I'm trying to stretch the kit a little bit more, because I do have quite a few more layouts I want to do, I end up pulling in some pieces from Simple Vintage Linen. So that's by Simple Stories, because I felt like that would work pretty well with the color scheme of this. And again, I was trying to stretch a little bit more of the ephemera and not use it all up on, although it's tempting because it is all really cute to just use it on one layout. So I decide to add another layer of ribbon here. So I'm going to add this red and white striped ribbon that came in the frazzles as well. And I realized later, like, that the writing on this newspaper is flipped upside down, but quite honestly, I just like that longer strip up at the top anyways. So even even though I didn't realize it until I was like almost done with this layout, I was like, you know what, I would still have chosen to put it this way because it's just kind of made sense to my eye. Although it's like blurred out writing, so you can't really like, you know, you can't really tell that it's like necessarily upside down writing unless you're really looking at it. So I'm gonna add this frazzle up here. And then now that since I've added that frazzle, I will pull back on the pictures and then try to kind of lay out my clusters a little bit. So then that way I'm sure of how I want it laid out. And initially I thought I wanted the pictures kind of stacked like that. But since I had added the frazzle to the ripped portion of the layout, I thought that it, you know, I didn't want to cover up the ribbon. So I decided to just center the photographs here. So, and then I'm going to pull in all the ephemera that I set aside. It was ephemera that I wasn't sure was going to make it on there or not. So I'm going to try to pull all that back on and kind of decide what pieces really make sense and what I really like on here. I will actually pull off quite a bit of the simple story stuff because I really felt like since I had added that additional ribbon piece and then centered the photographs up, I didn't need as much ephemera as I thought I was going to need. So these star pieces, that is from Simple Vintage Linen, so that's from Simple Stories. And I will keep those star pieces in just because I kind of felt like it made sense on this layout. I wanted to leave them on. I really was considering using these butterflies on here, but I just felt like the color tone didn't really match, so I do pull those back off. I'm sorry, you probably can hear my kids kind of running around and playing in the background. I feel like when I do these voiceovers, a lot of time I feel like some of that noise in the background isn't going to be as loud, and then I listen to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's crazy how well some of these, how well it picks up background noise when I do these voiceovers. So this little enjoy tab, that is from the Simple Vintage Linen, and I decided I wanted to use that kind of as my title. I wasn't really going for like a super like obvious title on this one, just something more generic because I really couldn't think of like a good title that could go on this. So I feel like a lot of time if I can't really think of a good title, I just go with a generic one. These little like dandelion flower pieces, that's from the Simple Vintage Linen, as well as I already set the stars, and then I will add on those bees that you can kind of see off to the side. I will pull in a couple little ladybugs too as well. But besides the stars, there's little dandelion pieces, and then the bee and the ladybugs, that's the rest of it's all Color Rush Studio ephemera. So this little plaid heart was from Simple Vintage Linen too. And again, a lot of time that's what I'll do. Like if I'm really trying to stretch a kit, because I do like to use a lot of ephemera on my layouts, I will try to pull in pieces from other collections if need be, just in that way I can kind of stretch the kit out as much as I can. And I've done quite a few layouts, although I haven't posted all of them. I did post one already, and then I will have another one upcoming that was from Color Rush. But I really feel like this month's kit, it was such a pretty collection and so cute that I really feel like I feel like this month's kit is going to really help me be really creative. I feel like when you have like really good kits like this, it helps the process go so much easier. And at the end there, I did add some sequins mix that was included in this month's kit. And so here are a few close-up shots. I think this turned out so cute. So you can see the writing's upside down, which, does that really bother me? Not really, unless you're really looking at it. And I appreciate you coming by to watch another process video.